The more you know your history, the more liberated you are. Maya Angelou. You are Wall Street. When most people hear Wall Street, they picture someone in a tailored navy suit, strutting down Manhattan with an $8 coffee in one hand and a portfolio full of hedge fund secrets in the other. He probably has slick black hair, Ivy League credentials, a second home in the Hamptons, and not a single cultural clue about your life, right? Wall Street was never designed with you in mind, or so they'd have you believe. You've been conditioned to think the market is reserved for the powerful, the privileged, the pale, and the perfectly connected you. You've been told that you don't belong in that world, that you're either too behind, too broke, or too brown to break in. And that, my friend, is a lie. Because the truth is you are Wall Street. Not the watered down version you see on CNBC, but the original blueprint. Black Wall Street. You descend from legacy, brilliance, resilience, and economic genius. Your ancestors didn't just survive, they thrived, building entire financial ecosystems without help, without handouts, and without hesitation. You're not a stranger to the market. You're the reason it exists. So if you've ever doubted whether you belong in trading, investing, or financial domination, I want you to lean in. I'm about to share with you the story of Black Wall Street, what it is, why it matters, and why you are next in line to rebuild the empire. Comment, like, and subscribe. Because this isn't just history, it's a prophecy. Let's go. What if I told you that you are Black Wall Street? That the same brilliance, resilience, and generational genius that built an empire out of ashes runs through your veins? Well, I'm Dr. O, psychotherapist turned full-time trader and proud host of the Trading Psychology for Reparations program, where we help our community seek what's owed, not through protest signs, but through profit lines. We believe reparations aren't just something we wait on. They're something we trade for. If you've ever wondered whether you belong in the stock market, this video is your confirmation. You don't just belong here. You are the blueprint. You come from a legacy of financial greatness that the world tried to erase. But we're here to remember, rebuild, and rise. And if you've been looking for a community that gets you, grows with you, and helps you heal financially, emotionally, and spiritually, this is it. This free space was built for you. So sit back, relax, and get ready to rediscover your legacy as we dive deep into the story of Black Wall Street and why it still affects everything we do today. Let's go. We often hear Black Wall Street and imagine a single bustling road. But the truth is far more powerful. It was an entire district. Over 35 square blocks of Black excellence thrived in Greenwood, Tulsa. This was not symbolic success. It was structural. It tells us that when Black communities are given the room and the resources to build, they don't just survive, they innovate. This wasn't accidental. It was intentional community planning and interdependence. Homes were built near businesses, which were built near schools, which were built near churches. The ecosystem was circular. Every part supported the other. Imagine your life in a world where every service you needed was Black owned and operated. This was the reality in Greenwood. The fact that it was more than a street breaks the mental limitations so many of us carry. We're not made for one-lane success. We were built for districts, systems, and industries. If Black Wall Street was a metaphor, it was this. You don't have to shrink to succeed. So now the question is, what are you building? Are you creating an ecosystem or just a hustle? Black Wall Street challenges us to think bigger, block by block. At its peak, money at Black Wall Street stayed in the community for up to a year before ever leaving. Today, in many Black neighborhoods, $1 leaves in 6 hours. That's not just economics, it's energy drain. It's proof that our current financial structures bleed our communities dry. But Greenwood proves we can reverse the flow. When you buy from a Black-owned business, you're not just making a purchase, you're planting a seed. Circulating dollars internally creates job opportunities, raises home values, and funds education. It's how wealth is not only created, but sustained. The lesson? You don't need the government's permission to be self-sufficient. You need discipline, unity, and a strategy. They built banks and hospitals using only internal resources. You may not be a bank or doctor, but what service do you offer that your community needs? Let this inspire you to make every dollar a vote. Who you support matters. Don't just chase wealth. Channel it. Circulate it. That's how we rise again. In fact, African Americans in this community had their own planes. When you think of the early 20th century Black America, you probably don't think aviation. But Greenwood had private airplanes and an airstrip. In other words, they were literally soaring above expectations. This is proof that we've always had vision beyond our oppression. Planes weren't just transportation. They were about elevation, economic, psychological, and generational. When you see your people flying, you start to believe in new altitudes for yourself. Black Wall Street gave that kind of visual affirmation. And yet many of us still clip our own wings. We ask for permission to fly instead of building the runway ourselves. But their story reminds us we don't need permission. We need execution. They built planes because they believed in destinations that others said didn't exist. So let this be your reminder. The air is yours too. The skies haven't closed. What legacy do you want to launch? What fear do you need to overcome to get off the ground? Greenwood had over 600 Black-owned businesses, making it one of the most economically independent Black communities in U.S. history. That means hundreds of entrepreneurs turned ideas into industries without angel investors, tech incubators, or corporate pipelines. This teaches us that community wealth isn't built by one giant corporation, but by hundreds of small, consistent contributors, barbers, bakers, teachers, seamstresses, entrepreneurs. Everyone had a road. The economy was diversified, which made it stable. Today we see entrepreneurship as a solo mission. But in Greenwood, entrepreneurship was a collective expression. Business owners knew they were part of something bigger. They didn't just work for profits. They worked for progress. So the next time you think your gift isn't enough, remember this. They built an entire economy out of what they had. And so can you. Multiply your gift and invite others to do the same. While many Black families in the early 1900s were still struggling for housing, Greenwood had one of the highest rates of Black home ownership in the country. Owning property gave residents leverage, pride, and generational security. Home ownership is about more than real estate. It's about reclaiming a stake in your future. When you own where you live, you control your environment, your equity, and your legacy. Greenwood families knew that, and they prioritized it. This level of ownership didn't happen by chance. It came through strategic financial planning, community land trust, and cultural belief in legacy over luxury. They weren't just buying houses, they were building inheritance. If you've been told that ownership is out of reach, let Greenwood prove otherwise. Maybe your start is small. Maybe it's not a house yet. But ownership begins with mindset. Own your purpose, your strategy, and your journey. Black women weren't just participants in Black Wall Street. They were powerhouses. Women like Mabel Little ran thriving salons and helped circulate economic empowerment among other women. Leadership was not limited to men. This matters because even now, Black women are among the fastest growing groups of entrepreneurs, yet receive a fraction of venture funding. Greenwood showed us that when Black women are resourced and respected, entire communities rise. These women weren't waiting to be saved. They were building, leading, hiring, teaching. They weren't anomalies. They were the blueprints. Their businesses created ripple effects that lifted entire families and neighborhoods. If you are a Black woman or loved one, understand this. Entrepreneurship is not new to us. It's encoded in our history. Black Wall Street proves it's not only possible, it's powerful. And then there was the destruction. The Tulsa Race Massacre wasn't a spontaneous riot. It was a planned assault by the government. White mobs with support from law enforcement and even private planes obliterated an entire Black district. Let that sink in. Success wasn't just resented, it was targeted. This historical fact is uncomfortable but essential, because if we don't acknowledge how systems broke us, we'll keep wondering why we can't just fix things individually. The playing field wasn't just uneven, it was scorched. But here's the transformational truth. They tried to erase Greenwood, but they couldn't erase the blueprint. We know now how powerful we can become, and that knowledge can never be bombed out of existence. So what do we do with that truth? We use it as fuel. We stop waiting for approval. We stop explaining our ambition. We build again, but this time with protection, policy, and power. Over $200 million in today's dollars was lost. The financial loss from the massacre, in fact, exceeded $200 million in today's money. Insurance companies denied every claim. No restitution, no rebuilding fund, just ashes and silence. That kind of economic violence still echoes today. This isn't just about lost buildings. It's about stolen futures. Imagine the generational wealth that could have been passed down. The college funds, the businesses that never opened, the Black tech giants that never had a chance. But here's where the narrative flips. We are the generation that can recover what was lost. Not just in money, but in momentum. Every stock you trade, every property you buy, every course you teach is part of the restoration. So when you trade or invest, know that it's not just about you. It's about justice, about reclaiming a legacy that was interrupted but never destroyed. Well, the community began rebuilding immediately. Even after the devastation, Greenwood residents rebuilt homes and businesses within a year, without help. That's not just resilience, that's revolutionary. They had every reason to give up and chose to rise instead. This teaches us that healing doesn't mean waiting. It means working while wounded. They rebuilt not just because they could, but because they had to. The next generation depended on their comeback. Think about your life. What have you survived that you haven't yet rebuilt from? What ashes are you sitting in, waiting for someone to clear? Greenwood says, don't wait. Start laying bricks now. Rebuilding is messy. It's slow, but it's holy work. Let this be your sign. Even if they burned it all down, you can rise again. There are modern efforts to reclaim it still occurring today. From the Greenwood Art Project to national reparations discussions, Black Wall Street is no longer buried in the past. It's being resurrected. The torch is in our hands now, and we must decide what to do with it. This is more than symbolism. It's about creating new Black Wall Streets, online, offline, in fintech, real estate, education, and mental health. Reparations aren't just about checks, they're about choices. How we will use what we know. You are part of the modern Greenwood. Every time you support a Black-owned business, teach financial literacy, or offer coaching, you are building the new district. Every podcast, trade, or workshop is a brick in the future. Let Black Wall Street be your reminder. We're not starting from scratch. We're starting from legacy. And we have everything we need to finish what they began. So you've just heard the story they tried to bury. The legacy they hoped you forget. But now you know. You're not just learning about Black Wall Street. You are Black Wall Street. The courage, the brilliance, the strategic mind. It's already in you. This isn't just history. It's your inheritance. And the question now is, what will you do with it? This is your moment to reclaim what was stolen, rebuild what was burned down, and rise from the ashes, not just with pain, but with profit. That's why I created the Trading Psychology for Reparations community, to help you trade with purpose, heal through strategy, and walk boldly in the wealth our ancestors dreamed of. We're not just buying stocks. We're buying back our power. So if you're ready to trade your trauma for transformation and your fear for financial freedom, I invite you to join our community. It's free, it's powerful, and it was built with you in mind. Together, we're not just learning charts, we're changing the narrative. Be sure to comment below, like this video, and subscribe to the channel, because this isn't just a movement, it's a mandate. Your comeback has already been written, and trust me, Wall Street has nothing on what we're about to build. You've got this. Peace and blessings, Dr. O.